Hi everyone. So tonight I'm going to try a recipe that I actually have not done before. So what I'm going to call this is sage butter beer butt Cornish hens. So a lot of you have probably heard of beer butt chickens before, but I have these Cornish hens that I thawed out, and I thought, you know what, I bet these would be good on the grill too, and I don't feel like heating up the house and to cook and so forth in the summertime. So I have a recipe though that I usually do with Cornish hens that involves sage and butter and bacon, and I thought, well, why not adapt that recipe to the beer butt chicken theme? So I have a couple cans of Yingling lager here. I have my 4 Cornish hens, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open all of these up. I'm going to pull out the giblets if there are any, which it does not look like there are any in these. I'm going to rinse each one off and get them prepped for going on the grill. So I've opened all of the chickens and rinsed them out just to make sure there's no ice or anything left inside of them. Right now I'm working on peeling the garlic, and I'm just going to roughly chop the garlic because what I'm going to use is a mortar and pestle to kind of smush it up and turn it into almost a paste. What I'm going to put in with it is, as I mentioned before, sage. I find that sage, butter, chicken go very well together. So we're going to run over here to my herb garden and grab some sage. So sage looks like this. You can eat any of the leaves. I like to eat the green ones. If they start to turn yellow, they're not as good. The purple ones are just the younger leaves. There's all kinds of sage that you can get. This one specifically is purple sage. Each one has a little bit of a different flavor profile. This one's kind of sweet and, like I said, goes very well with chicken. So now I'm going to take my sage and do the same thing with that and just kind of roughly chop it. I think I pulled about 8 to 10 leaves there. We're going to throw this in with our garlic, and we're going to put a couple of whole pieces of Himalayan salt in there. It'll help it grind up a little better. I'm also going to put a few grinds of black pepper in there, and we're going to work this through until it starts to become a paste. So now that I have it into a paste, I'm adding about 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to mix that around in here. Obviously this works better if your butter is at room temperature. And once we have this all mixed together, then we're going to smear it all over the outside of the chicken. As a matter of fact, I think I may put a little extra salt in there too, because this is really what's going to give the outside of the chicken skin the flavor, and hopefully that'll permeate into the rest of the chicken. So now that I have the butter incorporated into our paste, I'm also going to add some lemon zest that'll give it that kind of fresh flavor. Again, this is kind of going from a recipe that I usually make with Cornish hens inside, and now I'm adapting it to make it on the grill outside using the beer can method, so to speak. And there we go, almost done. And that will keep it nice and moist inside. So once we've got that lemon, the zest of 1 lemon there, we're going to incorporate that around. And like I said, I'm going to put in a couple more spins of salt. Mix that around, and we're going to bring that over to our chickens here. And I'm going to put a glob on each one. And we're going to kind of smear it around, massage it into the chicken, and once we've got it all over here. It's dripping everywhere. Then we're going to set it right on top of that beer can. All right, so right now I'm dumping out half of each one of these beer cans. And yes, I will probably put that in the fridge and save it for later. And I also decided that this is the one that I already rubbed. We're going to put that one on top of the beer can. But the rest of these I have dried off with a paper towel because I think our mixture will stick on here a little better if we do it that way. Oh yeah, that looks much better. So I'm going to rub that paste that we made on here. Good. Let's get this one over here. I'm going to do the same thing. Scoop up all the little pieces of goodness that we had left over from the other one. There we go. And all of that is going to melt down, basting the chicken as it cooks there. Perfect. And then we're going to bring this one over, put that one on top of a can as well. Slide it down there so it doesn't fall over. Again, I'm going to dry this off a bit before we put all of our yummy goodness on there. And push some down into the top there. Any little bits of extras that you've got there, you can push down in around the top. Excellent. Now, one more thing I'm going to do before these go into the grill is, there we go, I am going to grab some prosciutto and I'm going to top it with that as well. So I buy the prosciutto that's already neatly sliced, put on here for this kind of thing. If you're looking for it just to eat on a charcuterie, then obviously you want to go to the deli, get some nice prosciutto di Parma and have them slice it down for you, but this will work great for this. So we're going to just slide that right in there. Give it that extra little smoky saltiness. Right down in the chicken. Each one, don't lose any of that goodness. Yeah, that's looking good. We got one more to go here. Right in the middle, and then this will go in the grill. Now I've got the grill turned on high at this point. I'm going to keep an eye on it here. I think we're going to be able to do this on high. You do want to make sure you don't want them touching because then they won't cook evenly, but you also want to have them at least kind of close to each other so that they're going to be less likely to fall over. I think these are going to take about 45 minutes, but as long as you have a thermometer, you can check them, and what you want to do is aim for 180. So we're going to bring these over here into the grill. Open this up. And set it right on there. There we go. All right, so I just checked these and they were up to 175, so I turned off the heat and let them sit for a couple minutes, and so they're the perfect 180. Now, the tricky part is pulling these off of the can and still trying to keep them intact. The cans obviously are very hot, so you gotta kind of work them off like that. And we'll bring them over to the platter here. Before I get the rest off, I'm gonna just try a little bite of this. See. Oh, it looks super juicy. All of that rub that we put on here has kind of worked its way down over. Oh, that looks good. Smells good. It's delicious. So I totally forgot. Some of you guys wanted drink pairings with this. Normally with sage chicken, I would reach for something light, refreshing, maybe even just a basic Chardonnay from California. But tonight, since we're doing beer and I've got leftover beer, I am gonna do a shandy. Of course, you could just have regular old Yingling, but we're gonna make it a little bit more summery and fresh to go along with this meal. So all it is half beer and half lemonade. So, cheers.